The moron is a dangerous person. They are, as they seem, one who is deficient, not all the time visibly and all the time noticeably, but they are deficient. And their deficiency can bring about a fate that is unfavorable to not only themselves, but to other parties. The unlearned, while they are yet not as dangerous as the moron, they can play just a vital role in procuring their own fate and the fate of another. The circumstance of ignorance and to act therein is not an excuse, nor does it absolve one from the consequence of said circumstance. The reciprocity through repercussion must be sought and it must be delivered. As is, one must also untake this. The moron, as you see, dangerous because they function as if they are not just normal, but sometimes above normal, more intelligent than normal. But it is not until that we see that they are actually one who is deficient that we become concerned with what it is that we've become involved with. The moron makes it clear that they are not to be trusted. They are to be supervised and to be watched at all times. The moron is one who I know, regardless of what they say, regardless of what they do or think, possibly yet even feel, have sensation of, they are totally incapable of long-range thought. The moron is capable of completing basic thought in basic fashion. This is what makes them so capable in a basic capacity, wherein which there are others above and below them who handle certain duties. All the moron has to do is understand this function. Once again, they are not all the same. There are high functioning morons who are functioning at the level of a just below average intelligence person. And when I say but just below average intelligence, this is obviously someone who doesn't need to be told not to eat their own fecal matter. But they're just above that level of intelligence. They're just above that. But they're not so far in the processing of thought, evolution of mind, if you will, to be allowed within their own body, within their own ability and scope, to perceive things such as, I should not walk in front of these cars while they are driving fast, though I live in the city and this is what other people do. Only the moron, a high-functioning stupid person, could truly act in such a way wherein which they don't even realize what they've done is adverse. That is what makes them the moron. To be oblivious, willingly, wantonfully is one thing, because that makes you deceitful, makes you deceptive, means that you are trying to beguile the people. Whereas one who is truly a moron might not perceive the actual consequences of their actions. They might not actually be able to perceive this. All they know is the action. Case in point, children, many children are morons, which is why hold them accountable for something as a child is unforeseeable, because they don't have the mental capacity to know better. As one gets older, the ability to believe that one is no longer in the stage of a moron is believable. And it's ascertained through your ability to make decisions day in and day out that don't cause you bodily harm, cause others bodily harm, or somehow, some way, shape, or form, a financial implication of some sort. However, with that said, the unlearned, the unlearned, though they may not have ever seen a vehicle, for them to understand, to have seen, or to maybe have been run into by another person in their life, to have felt and touched metal, to have touched a car, they understand that they don't want this object that is moving this fast, that is made out of this, to hit them. So they don't go out into the middle of the street. Doesn't make them smarter than the moron. They're unlearned. They actually don't know better. But what they do understand, what they can feel within their body, is that this may bring harm to me. So they're not a moron because they have the ability to have forethought. This is why the moron is overlooked, because when there are so many of them and so many people constantly make decisions that are based upon a moronic mind state and a mindset, once again, that is Satan placed therein, it only makes it to where they're harder to distinguish from another person. This is why someone who may be genius, average genius, may seem like an above average intellectual person, because everyone that they're dealing with is a moron. A person who is of above average intellect may seem average to everyone that they're dealing with, because everyone that they're dealing with is learned, or learned to the degree that they're not unlearned, and they're most definitely not a moron. So when I tell you again that the definitive difference between a moron, who is a fool, an idiot, or a blockhead, and one who is unlearned, you see, one has to really take into the course that a person who is not learned is just not well educated. You understand? To be a blockhead and to be unlearned, to be a fool and to be uneducated, to be an ignoramus and to be ignorant are not even the same. Where one is a derivative of the other word. Understand this. One acts in a way that not only are they unlearned, but they act foolishly, and they're unlearned. That's the ignoramus. You see, they don't have the ability. Once again, a person may try to tell you that they are simply ignorant, but this is not true. This is simply not true. Because it says an ignorant or stupid person, but an ignorant person is not stupid, because the true term for ignorance is one who is absent of knowledge. You see? So I just always find it funny that people will try to say that one is stupid, right? But if you look up the word ignorant, one of the synonyms, look, I want you to understand: uneducated, unknowledgeable, untaught, unschooled, untutored, illiterate, unlettered, unlearned, unread, uninformed, unenlightened, benighted. Understand, not one of those words is stupid. Thank you. Now, when we look up the word stupid, just so that way you don't think I'm trying to pull one over on you, having or shown a lack of intelligence or common sense. Now understand, a synonym for the word stupid is ignorant, because they don't have the discernment or the ability to decide if that person is ignorant or if they're stupid. That is the discernible ability of the person who is in contact of such individual. But the words shouldn't be synonymous when the other word does not have within its synonymity the word stupid or stupidity. You see what I'm saying? Even though in the definition it says that he was told constantly that he was ignorant and stupid, to be ignorant and stupid obviously tells you that you are not both of the same thing. This is one, this is the other. So when I tell you that the unlearned, the ignorant, is not the moron, it's not the idiot, You must really appreciate this, because the the unlearned, I will give you, I will tell you, is Abraham, because Abraham is unlearned to have known to have circumcised himself, to have fixed a medical condition that didn't allow for semen to escape his urethra, therefore making it, for a woman who's already having issues getting pregnant, making it much more complicated. But for a young, fertile woman who is not having the same issues, she can get pregnant. Right. He became learned when he circumcised himself. And this, I'm sure, helped many other men who were going through the same situation. The moron. The moron would be the same man who told King David to his face that he himself slew King Saul, the anointed of the Most High. Yet, in the commandments, long before this event ever took place, the Most High told people there are 6 things. 6 things. You know what I mean? That he abhors, and the 7th he hates. Or 6 things he hates, and the 7th he abhors, excuse me. However, the Most High does hate things. And one of the things that he was talking about was one who was a liar. And in this passage, he speaks to the level of one's mind to perjure themselves. And a person who commits perjury is pretty much to lie, or to lie on themselves in this instance. This man committed perjury. He lied on himself. He said that he killed someone that he didn't. The gift, the reward, the consequence of his perjury was death. Had he simply told King David that King Saul had killed himself, that would have absolved the man of any wrongdoing. The only thing King David could have then questioned is if King Saul himself had yet done such an action. But the moron, seeking favor with King David, told him that he slew King Saul, though David himself, who could have killed King Saul, never did so. So why would a person understand this? If you don't know this, now you're ignorant and you're a moron. So you understand, now you're an ignorant and you're stupid. Right. So this is where I'm trying to draw together the parallels for the people to understand that the moron is a most dangerous individual. They will cost you. They will cost you. And they don't care. This is why they must be taken serious. And they must not be allowed to practice their ways of foolishness. If you allow for the moron to continue to breed into your ranks as people who are already genetically unrelated to you, and to further breed with the morons of your ranks, we will not have to worry about what is going to come and what shall be of this world, for it is written, and none shall be saved. So, the consequences thereof of genetically mixing yourself with those who are not even compatible to be with you, that is a consequence. And therefore, in such, you have created a mental deficiency with as such. I will point this out before I leave. You had to make it 15 minutes or skip ahead to get here. However, the symptoms of the moron are seeded directly from fallen angels. Directly from them. Cain was not ignorant, nor was he unlearned when he killed his brother. How could an unlearned man, an ignorant man, go off to build a city? How could an ignorant man, an unlearned man, better yet, say, I am not my brother's keeper? Yes, right. Thank you very much. These are small things for a person to look at and to understand the formalities of human nature. However, the fallen ones, with all their other deficiencies, that was one of their corruptions. They brought moronism to this planet.